What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third and Longhorn. We have a very special guest today. I'm going to start it off. I'm just going to read this first before we get to it. We have royalty in the house. You appeared in 50 career games with 28 starts, posted 364 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 8 interceptions, 23 PBUs, 9 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries, and a UT record 8 blocked punts. Wow. During that time, Texas posted a 44-7 record with 3 bowl wins, including back-to-back Rose Bowl championships. If you remember, one of those was a national championship game. Your 364 tackles ranked 8th on UT's all-time list, and your 8 block punts ranked 2nd on the NCAA's all-time list and first on Texas. As a senior, you tapped second-team All-American and Walter Camp Foundation, and you were named a semifinalist for the 2006 Lott Trophy and a 2018 Texas Hall of Honor member. Please welcome Michael Griffin. Michael.
Yes, sir.
Mike G.
Them linebackers up front, they weren't getting to the ball.
That helped. I love it.
DJ, when you left, baby.
Clean up, man.
When you left, it got real back there.
So you just spit off all of those stats and those numbers, and obviously your career, not just at Texas, but also in the NFL, has been prolific. High school as well. Austin native, shout out ATX, right? 512. What out of those numbers are you most proud of? Is it the 8 block punts? Is it the picks? Is it the tackles? Like, which one you like? Hey, that was me. That was me, right?
Or was it a toe tap?
I think the coming out, you got to understand, we was in an era where we had nothing but, when you talk about semifinals, we had guys that was finalists, aka, Derrick Johnson, Michael Huff, Aaron Ross, Vince Young, Cole McCoy was also one of my teammates. Brian Arakpo came, he was on the team. So we had a lot of guys that won a lot of awards. So, but you talk about that coming out party was like that year where Huff just won the Thorpe Award, was an All-American at the time, drafted the first defensive back, but that national championship game, playing in that game, but also having that interception and playing against probably one of the best teams ever playing college football. I think they were, 30-something and 0 at the time. They was undefeated for the last two seasons, that third year. So you had 2 undefeated teams going into that game, and shout out, it was my 21st birthday on that day also. So, you talk about having the best birthday gift ever, and each and every year when they're like, hey, this is so many years from, let's know how old I am, when they keep saying how many years since. Texas, come on, we need y'all to win another one, baby. So we can stop talking about that. But, that was probably like the coming out, part, like, okay, I can really do this. Because, my first year, and DJ can allude to this, I was a guy, I learned the defensive back position. Running back coming out of high school, came to Texas, was an athlete, looked in the running back room, rest in peace. You see Cedric Benson, Selma Young, and you got Mike Williams and all those guys in that room, and I'm like, hold on, coach, you want me to, during practice, you want me to block one of them? Not happening. So go to the wide receiver room, Lyman Swede, Billy Pittman, Gatewood, those guys all came in my class, number 1, number 2 wide receivers in the state of Texas. Then you had Sloan Thomas, B.J. Johnson, Tony Jeffrey, Brian Carter, Roy Williams. You just had all these guys that are either were playing or guys waiting their turn. So it's like not seeing the field over here. So I went to the defense side of the room and did my numbers. You had Nathan Vasher, Michael Huff, Cedric Griffin. Thank God Kendall Browse left, because he was a guy that was probably going to be playing too. So he left. So I guess it was that one little small window of opportunity that opened up, and from there, got out there, I remember Dakari Pearson's probably one of the best free safeties that never got the recognition that he deserved, but just watching him every day in practice, making plays. And I remember he got hurt, and then Philip Giger had to go to free safety, and I'm like, wait, no one knows nickel. And we was playing Iowa State, to be exact. Matter of fact, it's crazy. I just saw Seneca Wallace this past weekend in Dallas at a 7-on-7 tournament, and I remember Coach called a blitz, and I went in at nickel, and he told me, "You dumb freshman, you don't know what you're doing." Shout out to Coach Akina. Y'all know that. Y'all know how Coach Akina was.
It's a nice edit there.
He probably said something a little different.
Way worse. But I remember I got a sack, caused fumble, and from there, the rest was history, and got some opportunities from there. But I thought I was ready, and I just talked to Cedric Griffin about this. We had to play Arkansas the following year in Arkansas. Huff went down early, and I said, "Oh, it's my time, baby." And they did play action pass, and I don't know how I was behind the other side of the line of scrimmage, and they came the deep ball. And I looked at Huff and said, "You okay?" "I'm not ready yet." So it took time, but I would say that following year, having a whole season under my belt, my junior year, and playing a national championship game, it was like, okay, things are rolling, things are going in the right place.
That's amazing. Coach Akina. We share Coach Akina. Obviously got that in common as a great coach, and he says over and over again, he'll say it on social media. I think he just posted it not too long ago. That you was part of the greatest secondary that he ever coached, greatest secondary in the history of DBU here at the University of Texas. Talk about, first of all, what Coach Akina meant to you, because you just talked about how as a young player, obviously, you were a little inconsistent in your game. It all came together for you. I know Coach Akina was a big part of it. I remember him talking about you as a young player and what your ceiling was as a player, and you certainly hit that.
You know what the thing was is that, he treated everybody the same. The thing he used to always tell us was it didn't matter how many stars you had. It was like when you get there, best four are going to play. My first top two guys going to be my cover corners. The next one's going to be my strong safety, and the last one's going to be my free safety. And then I was like, well, how do we get the nickel? Fifth guy comes in. Rotate everybody in. And then how do you get the dime? We going to keep rotating. Yeah. So I just remember he allowed everybody. I mean, the realest thing I ever seen him do was, my brother was a preferred walk-on, and, he was a walk-on, but he outplayed everybody else. And if you go back to the national championship game, I actually knocked myself out. And my brother came in the game, and he replaced it. He was a walk-on playing in the national the biggest stage ever. But, that's how we played. It was just the best guys are going to play. It never mattered what stars it was. And the thing I really liked about him is he let you just be you. And the thing he always just tell us, when you start messing up, then that's when I'm going to start making you do things my way. But the way he used to coach us, it was – and, again, y'all older guys that was in there, like Nathan Vasher, Dakari Pearson, those guys – it was like a blueprint on how you're supposed to do things, and just watching the teaching tape and things of that nature. And I just remember as freshmen making us sit in the front, and I just remember the older guys like slapping us in the back of the head like we decide we want to fall asleep, or like Coach Keener say something, they'd be like, "Hey, did you write that down?" Like slap you in the back of the head, "Did you write that down?" Like really like hone in on us, like, listen, y'all, like I'm trying to tell y'all, like what he's telling y'all is gonna be, it's gonna work out. And so I just remember, like, he was just really the one thing he's always saying, when I stop talking to you, that's when you need to be worried. But some of the things he used to say, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was
PG.
Man, Mike G, man, first of all, you're one of the I don't think you get the respect you deserve at times, even though you've had a lot of success here at the University of Texas and in the NFL. But you're one of the complete DBs here at DBU, right? And you talk about all these DBs that we have. It's unfortunate that because you can't hype up a couple guys at a time to win the Thorpe Award. And in 2005, Huffs wins it. 2006, Ross wins it. And your numbers are out the roof as well. How were you able to shine throughout your tenure here at the University of Texas with all the talent we had this whole time? Like, what was that mindset like? Because everybody wants to win those awards. I know you want to win those awards.
Hey, half those awards are mine. I don't care what.
I know that.
We go to dinner. I say it all the time. I told Huff the other day, "Can you order another?"
Order another trophy.
I'm gonna cross out the Huff and put a Michael Griffin. When my kids grow up, when they, not the older one though, but the young one, the baby girl, the 7-year-old, and my grandkids, they gonna think I won. They gonna definitely think I won this.
Man, you've always had a knack for being around the ball. I just remember I took advantage of you a little bit. Like in the game, he would come next to me, playing the nickel spot, and there would be a fullback back there.
Tell the truth. No, tell the truth. What you used to make me do. Tell the truth.
I'm about to say it.
Okay, go ahead.
I said, hey, go in there and go knock him out. Like go in there. Like go, let's go. I know where he's going. He go in there full speed. Boom, and then I go. I get the tackle. Do my little Superman pose, and he up there with stars or whatever.
Underneath the whole pile. It was.
It's a team game, right?
No, it was not. It was a selfish game. I knew the plan. The game plan with DJ got to win everything. It's cool.
Yep.
But I realized as a freshman,
Yeah.
hey, listen, he tell you to go,
Yeah.
just go. All right, listen, close your eyes, run there as hard as you can, and just leave your feet. And then I'll be on the bottom of the pile, and you doing all your.
And he dancing. I mean,
Bro,
yeah.
it used to be like, come on, man, just.
He always, Mike G always had a knack for just making plays, man. When I say he checks every box, when it comes to covering, when it comes to playing free safety, when it comes to tackling, doing all that blitzing off the edge, punts, all that stuff, man. You took a lot of pride in what you did, and not a lot of DBs that can check as many boxes as you.
Well, I say that, and I go back to say, like, it was the guys before you, and you know, there was a standard. You know, when Coach Aquino got the job, there was a standard. You know, you had Quentin Jammer, who did what he did.
Yep.
You know, and you know, Nathan Vasher was there with us, and I remember just watching him being like, I was amazed. Like when I got there, and I'm like, wait, that was you that was like knocking all these people out, like
Little dude.
Little dude,
Like, I was
little
right
dude,
there,
little
and
dude,
then-
little dude. You had just left.
you know, watching,
Mhm.
and so, and then you watch practice, and I remember, like, I was in awe and amazed. It was like one-on-ones. I'm like, all right, Roy Williams, and it's like, oh, little Nathan Badger, this what's about that? And it'd be like, they would go at it, and it was literally like, hey, we're just gonna sit back and watch one-on-ones. Like, we're gonna watch this battle the entire time. And so it was just a standard that was just there that I said, like, the older guys, it wasn't like, oh, look at these little freshmen. It was like, hey, listen, we about to bring y'all along with us to keep this thing going. And so that was like Philip Giger, Dakari Pearson, Nathan Vasher. I mean, I even give a shout out to Rufus Harris, who you know, he was a top guy coming out.
Yeah.
But even he was a guy, Matt Melton, those guys were still like, hey, listen, this is how we do things. Like, y'all need to get on this. Like, and so, you know, and Rod, you, I mean.
I was going to say, when you talk about
Yeah,
standard, I was
yeah.
saying, like, this
Yeah,
was-
but I mean, you understand, like, he
Yeah.
was already there. So it's like the guys I was in the room with, but you look at it like, Rob, you know, you're right, the guy had the longest arms ever and go out there and lock people down. And, you know, I remember the whole picture with the chain and everything else and stuff. At the time, I was like, do I grow my hair out like that? Like,
Braids, man.
is that the standard?
All the DBs had the braids.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know, like, is that the standard?
All
But
the
I just
DBs.
knew, like, you know, that's the way you're supposed to play. So, you know, it was just a standard that was in that room that it's like, hey, when you get on the field, it was, and then you got to look at it like this. At the time, just be honest with you, a lot of people from it's amazing now to see there's three guys that start in the secondary from the Austin.
Yeah, that's right.
But back in the day, it was always Austin. Hey, y'all used to always joke with y'all ain't got no talent. Y'all,
Yeah.
so true. Yeah, dog, you used to got the real football. Y'all trash. Blah, blah, blah. That's all I used to hear 24/7. So it's like, all right, y'all soft. Y'all okay, bet. Listen, you on the field now. You gotta just go. You gotta crash out. You gotta just go out there and just whatever, hit anything moving and just go. And like that was the thing is this. There was a standard, but then it was also you had that little chip on your shoulder because again, I'm in there with Terrell Brown, top ranked corner who had a great career. Cedric Griffin didn't talk much, but Lord have mercy, you know it was about to like Huff, smartest player ever, but go out there. We joke with him about he want to go, but he gonna go. He put his face in if he had to, but he had to. He had to. He gonna go in there. Love him to death. He had to. He gonna go in there. But again, he's a guy that he can do it all. Smart player, whatever. But then you already seen on film. You saw Nathan Vasher do what he do. Yeah. You saw Quentin Jammer. You knew he was a first round draft pick. And so you come in there and you're just like, okay, this is how you got to play. Like Philip Giger wore no gloves, straight hands. I'm like, when they do this,
old school.
What's about this? Like, what's and I already thought he was like 37 years old. He was bald and everything. So I'm like, this don't, you know. So again, it was just when you really look at that room, it was like there's a standard. And then you remember how Coach Kings had a little high jump pit, go down there and tell you to strike. And I remember I just saw some people who didn't strike that well. And listen, the words he used to give them and everything else. So you just never wanted to be that guy that everybody laughed at, but you just had like this type of it was just instilling you like how to play, how you had to play this game, and then it just passing on from there. Like the guys that came in after us when we became the older players, it was like, hey, this is how we play, this is how we practice, this is how we do things, and that was just the standard that was there in Texas.
Yeah, and you speak about that standard. While you was at school, that's where we developed that DBU. That's when we was DBU. Then for a while, it kind of transitioned to LSU, Bama, Ohio State for a little bit. with Jade winning the Thorpe, what did you see from our DBs this year? And do you think this is the beginning of regaining that DBU title for us?
Yeah.
The hardest thing I see now, and then you talk about that, is, with the transfer portal. The guy you look like Jade, you look at Michael Taft, you look at those two guys that been here for a long time, and they was able to develop. The coaching staff with Sark has been there for a while, so understanding that defense. Yeah. And I think you go back to when we played. I mean, we despite we had a bunch of defensive coordinators, we still kind of ran the same defense. Yeah. So you kind of just knew. You knew going into the offseason, you knew, like, we can go out there and run 7-on-7 versus offense, or when we scrimmage Texas State back with Southwest Texas, our age, but Texas State now. But that's back then,
okay, I'm gonna leave it alone.
I'm gonna tell DJ to give you his people.
Let's keep it on topic.
Yeah, I am. So. But back then, you knew you could just go. We could just go out there on the field by ourselves and know. And I think that's what you saw, guys that have learned the defense and the ins and the outs. And okay, now once you know what you're doing, you start realizing, okay, I know the linebacker got this, the D-line got this. If somebody's out there gap or something, I know how to make them right and things of that nature. So you was able to see the evolution of this defense continue, especially in the back end, get better and better. And then when you start understanding what this guy, like me and Huff played strong and free, but really, if you watch us play, we weren't strong or free. It was based on whatever formation you gave us was how we was going to line up. That's how we played. And I remember Coach Keener say, listen, that works for y'all, but we got to the point that we lived together. We lived in the same house. We was able to watch film together. We knew, like, we bonded on and off the field, and that allowed us to play the way that we was able to play when it came to playing the game. So. And then the following year, me and my brother started alongside each other. So we could sit there and have the same conversation of how you see this. And we played it the exact same way. Depend on what formation you gave us, we knew what we were doing. And it got to the point where, I tell you right now, there was a game we was playing Oklahoma State. And I remember Ross winked at me and said, hey, I'm gone. And I was like, what you mean you gone? We ain't cover 3. Okay, well, bet. Hey, I told Terrell, hey, you on your own. What you mean you on your own? You on your own. I'm going this way. Okay, bet. Next thing I know, they run a bubble screen. Ross goes and gets a pick. And Coach Keener goes, what are y'all doing? Coach, Ross said, I'm gone. I told Terrell, sit. Well, as long as y'all communicated it all together, it's right. Good to go. Exactly. We all on the same page. Yep. We all right. So. That I just saw that what they was able to do this year, you can see that they was able to, like, hey, we've been doing this for the last couple of years, and they was and I think Makuba coming in, he was able to, a guy who has a lot of playing time. But again, him and Jade's relationship, they pretty much grew up together and known each other. So I think all that just worked out together, and I think moving forward, you're moving a lot of it. You're losing experience, but at the same time, as long as you have that veteran guy, and the older guys were able, like they used to do back in the day, pass on the torch, give them all the information and things. I think that allows them, if you're able to grow and mature throughout the organization, rather than, things ain't going my way and I go somewhere else and things of that nature. And I think that's what you got to solve with this secondary, that every year it wasn't new players. It was the same players that got to grow together, and then you had your backups that able to watch your starters, but also get to learn the terminology, what they see, and learn those things from them.
When you talk about those two guys in particular, with Makuba and Jade getting a chance to get ready to go experience what the NFL is like, right? And coming off the season that they had, producing the numbers that they did from a defensive unit standpoint, you were kind of in a similar situation where y'all's defense was on point. You got so much momentum, expected first-round draft pick. You go out and you have an amazing career. 10-plus years in the NFL, multiple Pro Bowl appearances. The same stuff you did in college, you were able to still do in the NFL. What is some of the advice that you would give Jade or Makuba and say, hey, in preparation for what the expectation is and how you handle those expectations, this is what it looked like for me, and I can see this playing out for you?
Well, the biggest thing I did, and I'll tell you what I did, for me, I remember I got to Tennessee, and it was like I looked around the locker room and Vince was there, Bo Scape was there, Ahmad Hall was there.
Everybody on the
Everybody
Titans.
from Texas was there.
I forgot how many Longhorns were on
It
that
was
team.
like, it was
Yeah.
like, you know,
Ahmad Hall,
it was like a family reunion, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember I got there and I said, okay, let me see who's been here the longest. And Keith Bullock was there. I think he was on year 8 or something like that. He's been there the longest. Then Chris Hope, who played in the Super Bowl with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He's been playing for a long time. David Thornton, who still does a lot with the Colts organization. So I was like, all right, y'all 3 been in the league the longest, and y'all been at this organization. Keith been here the longest with this organization, and y'all been in the league the longest, and y'all making the most money. Y'all doing something right. So what I started doing was I was going to their house every day after practice and stuff, watching film with them just to see what, like, how do you play this game? And I remember going to Keith Bullock's house, and I remember sitting there in this little movie theater, first time I ever seen one of these guys. Listen, we're sitting in a little movie theater, and he was like, hey, listen, when you get at my age, you're not playing against teams no more. You start playing against coordinators. And then I said, what do you mean you playing against coordinators? Nah, you know where they come from. So when you know where they come from, you know how they're going to run their offense. And then so it don't matter if you playing this team, say, next year and they got a whole new coaching staff, you pretty much know what they're going to do because you know where they're coming from and you know where they're getting their offense from. And I was like, oh, this how this works. And so that's how I started learning film. And I remember, like, just being in practice, we would be talking, and he'll say, hey, listen, Griff, I remember they called him Mr. Monday Night. He had 3 interceptions versus Drew Brees. And I remember he was like, Griff, when we in this, I need you to be right here because that next window, I'm going to be right here. Now, it was funny because he never wore cleats in practice. He used to wear flats. And in 7
Really? Hold up.
He's a
my
vet
dog
for
used to be
real.
so really
Wow.
wild.
What?
A vet for real.
Keith
then.
Bullock used to point. Hey,
I'm gonna be there.
and when the game came, shout out to Keith Bullock. When the game came, he gonna be right where he said he was. But my dog used to be ball snap, he point, I'll be right there. The funny part was they would throw the ball right, so they'd be completing all these passes in practice. Cause he was just like straight chill mode right there. Here. Hey, Griff, listen. He used to call me Young Savage. Young Savage, listen. When they run this, I need you to be right here because I'm going to be right there. And they're going to throw it straight to me. All right, bet. You said it. Man, I kid you not. I was right there, and Drew threw it to the next window. He picked it off. And I see him just chunk the ball in the stands. And I said, don't that cost you money? He said, don't worry about it. I said, NFL real. This is crazy. But that's what I used to do. I used to go watch film with those guys. And then I just learned how to be a pro. Like, I didn't know what a cold tub. I didn't use no cold tub here at University of Texas. But I remember, like, Chris Hope was like, after practice, we're going to work out this way. Then we're going to go sit in the cold tub to your neck. And then we're going to get in this. And then you got to make sure you get your massages. And I'm like, bro, we got to do all this. And he's just like, I'm like, I ain't do this in college. Like, I ain't lift weights or nothing. I was 183 pounds my last football game. And they was like, no, listen, you got to understand. Chris Hope said, your body is a multi-million-dollar industry. You got to take care of it. You know, when them multi-millionaires, them billionaires, whatever, they business, that's why they make sure you got to take care of everything when it comes to, you know, your body and everything, get your mental and everything right. Go, this is a full-time job, like eat, breathe, sleep, football. So I would say that to those guys, like, listen, when you get there, you know, I get it. I mean, they already got money now, so it's a little different. But when you get there, understand that each and every year they're trying to replace you. I remember sitting in that locker for 9 years, and I just sit there, you know, that last day when it's time to clean out, and you looking like, ooh, he probably ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. And you be like, hey, am I coming back? For real? You still got guaranteed money. Okay, I got another year. I'm good to go. But when that guaranteed money out of there, baby, you sitting there like, oof. Remember the first day I got cut? I got cut on my day off, baby. Ooh. I remember that's a quick. I told you that when the FedEx guy came to the house, knocked on the door, talking about, I heard you just got cut. I knew you'd be here.
This is a true story?
On LHN set.
Man, so I knew you'd be here. Hey, you know me, I had to throw a grenade right back at him. I said, bro, you already talking about knew I'd be here, but you out here in the snow delivering packages. You don't get off my damn phone. I told me that. I knew you'd be here. I just heard on the radio you got cut. Like, just kept knocking. Bro, I'm hurt.
He wrong for that. He wrong for that.
I knew you'd be here. Why you not be here? They just said they just cut you.
Oh, man.
All right, man.
Grip, I want to take it back to, we obviously have to talk about it. It's definitely your most famous play in Texas history. In the 2005 National Championship, there's about
Hell of a play, man.
7 minutes left in the second quarter. It's not going like people thought it would either way, I think. And the score's 7-3, and Texas needed a big momentum shift. USC's driving. Obviously, the play I'm referring to is the toe tap play. And I think everybody's seen the 05 doc where you said, you were like, yeah, I was in, but in your head you didn't know. Can you take us from start to finish through that play?
So on that thing, y'all understand this. They cross the line of scrimmage. They like to take shots, and it was a sluggo seam. So Cedric, I went. If you watch it from the back view, I went to the seam because you're supposed to pump it to the slant and throw the seam. I went to the seam. And the next thing you know, I'm like, oh my God, where is he throwing it there? And I'm running, and he lobs it, and I'm like, oh my God, he actually gives me a chance. I asked him, matter of fact, I asked you your Hall of Fame last week. I always wanted to ask you, it's been a long time, why did you just lob it? And he goes, no one was supposed to be there. Like, when he beat him,
away.
No, like, you shouldn't get there.
Supposed to be
Yeah,
right.
you weren't supposed to get from the seam to that.
No one's supposed to get there. And he said when I pumped it, he's like,
supposed to
I
bite
saw
on
him
that.
break on it. I saw Cedric break on it, and I'm like, oh, it's theirs. Just throw it. He just lobbed it to him.
Complete the ball. That's what he thinks.
And he said, all of a sudden, I'm like, where did you just come from? Because you was in the middle of the field, and normally you're supposed to
Gotcha.
go to the seam. So then I God picked it. I mean, I knew I caught it, but it was just, I did the whole dramatic, the whole all that. And then I was like, damn. I would have had a hell of a play. And then they was like, oh, he's in. Then I started jumping, like all excited and stuff. I out-jumped A. Harris. You see me jump with him? Yeah, I out-jumped him. He tried to jump, but I out-jumped him. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just, again, if by the grace of God, he just, playing backyard football, he just threw it. If he would have threw it and got it there, Steve Smith catches the ball and walks in, and I'm just running in the picture. But the fact that he lobbed it, that's the only reason why I was able to get a chance to get it. Because actually I went left to go to the seam, and then I had to come back this way, and now I'm just running. And then I know I see his hands, and I just get in front of him, and I don't know how I caught it, but I literally, could I do it again? I'd probably drop it.
That flipped the entire game. I mean, the momentum shifted. Texas drove. I think Texas drove down. Wasn't that the drive where Vince's knee almost came down and he flipped it to Selvin? Was that drive or was that later? Yeah. But we came down and scored the next drive, and Texas went up, and it flipped the entire game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I would say if we had to do it all, I'm sure he would have just threw it in there, and I probably would have dropped it. So
I think also the point is only two athletes in college football probably could have made that play.
Yeah,
and they probably were in the same secondary. Yeah, couldn't even get there. And he might have been the same secondary with you. Is that because that was a great play. It's an awesome play. Is that your favorite play, college or pro, that you made?
Good question.
Because that was a hell of a play, man. That play is one of the great plays.
That's hard.
College football history.
I'm trying to think.
You got to play better than that because that was a hell of a play, man.
That was a hell of a play.
You know what? No, I'm
needed that.
gonna tell you some of the stuff I used to do, to block the punts.
Oh, you like that?
Those was
Huh.
No room for error.
You took pride in blocking punts.
I took pride in it, but it was more fun
good at it,
because
though.
I
Really
wasn't
good at it.
But when I went, it was it wasn't called.
Oh, it wasn't a
that was
punt
just
block
your own
specifically.
It was
saw it.
I could go get I'm doing a little hold up thing. I'm like, oh, you getting lazy now? Bet. Next one, I'm gone.
Hold up, how many of them then? You blocked 8 kids.
He had 8.
How
yeah.
many of them were
I think
uncalled blocks?
at least probably more than half of them.
Wow.
Golly.
That is
one versus Texas Tech, I was going to go hold the guy up, and I saw the punter misjudged it, and I just like, oh, well, just keep going.
The reaction time, like,
Just like, oh.
Well, you know when you go to rush, you're going to like drive them back. But as I'm going to drive them back, but normally they have like a time clock in their head to go.
In rush,
so as I'm going, he gives me a soft shoulder, and I'm like looking. Oh, he dropped it. Keep going.
Yeah.
Then versus A&M, the one A&M, we were losing that game at College Station. We went to the national championship game. The one I blocked and Cedric Griffin scored, I did that on my own. I wasn't supposed to go.
Wow, man,
That changed that entire game too.
I would be like, so I would
games,
look,
man.
so you know they used to do that. I call it the picket fence. They all line up across the
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So the three guys in the up back, they normally look for what? Everybody in the middle. So all you do is once you get the count on the punter, who does the count or whoever calls it, once you see them do their little thing,
and then everybody got to
you just take off.
You go.
So as soon as I do it, and what they all do in the fence, they all block down. So I said, if you gonna block down, I'm gonna get closer to you on the outside. So you gotta block me, but you gotta block down. So you just go off, and then the inside guys always looking for something interior. So I just go off the edge.
What did Coach Akina say about your freestyling? Because what did Coach Akina do? He's a prototype coach.
Then Colorado,
posse.
I was supposed to hold up the personal protector.
Wow.
And I just went. Man, my teammates are selfish because like if I go do that, y'all gotta get out the way and let me get the touchdown. Like Bobby Tatum got one. He had me. Oh, if y'all watch that play, Tony Jeffrey grabbed me by the back and pulled me back. He pulled me back. Selfish. Then Brandon Foster, I block it. I said, I got action. He get to the ball. I try to get a safety. I try to push him off the pot. I try to push him out the back.
How many calls? How many ones that you did on your own did not work?
Yeah, a bunch of them too.
We don't.
You're not gonna know.
But what was that conversation with Coach Akina?
Yes, that's what I want to know. Yeah.
Give us that.
Oh no, listen. When I go, I'm gonna come right back. When I go, I'm coming back to go get somebody.
Go get your guy.
I'm gonna come get something.
Yeah.
Like the first guy, you gotta make the first guy miss. But then also the other thing I used to like was
I'm gonna clean up.
So y'all probably remember Ryan Palmer.
Yeah, I remember Palmer.
Funny story. Me and Palmer got in a fight about who the best gunner was.
Okay.
Because I used to always get all the tackles and gunners. We got a big. You got to ask Coach Keene about it as soon as I talk to him. We put a hole in the wall in the meeting rooms, arguing about who the best gunner was.
Y'all put a hole in the wall.
At DB room. Now Palmer gonna say me and my brother jumped.
Palmer goes like, I gotta hit him.
I don't know.
We gotta get the other side of the screen.
We're trying to get ahead of it.
I didn't see Marcus. I didn't see Marcus.
Now we're gonna have Palmer on.
But we got in a fight.
But y'all brothers, so you guys back.
We got into a little altercation, right? Yeah. Coach Keena comes in. What in the is going on in here? Somebody say they fighting about who the best gunner. Akina say what?
Akina can't even get mad at
So
that.
listen, we go to Nebraska, right? Hey, Palmer faster than everybody. So we go to Nebraska. And I remember we got to go. Now that game got lit up. That's when we had to get the walk-on kicker to kick the game on the field goal. That was that game. That's when he became, great. So I remember we running down. We both. Palmer got like a head start. It really wasn't a head start. He just way faster than me. But look, I'm gonna say you had a head start. Though. When y'all tell the story, just say Palmer had a head start. I was doubled. He was single. He get down there. I remember Palmer missed the tackle. I hit him. Then I get up and I grab Palmer. Told you I'm better than you.
In the middle of the game.
That is classic, bro. I've never heard that story.
We used to we just took pride in it. So it was just like my pride was like, hey, listen, go down there, go get. It was just, you go down and make that single tackle, everybody get to see you. So that was like one of them big things. Or you tell Richard McGee, somebody, hey, punt it, just put it right there. I'm gonna catch it right there on the 1 yard line. Just punt it up there. But that was but you talk about some of the plays. That's one of my favorite plays. But just going to go block the punts and stuff, that was just fun because that's just like you gotta have a knack for that.
That's just football instinct you doing,
Yeah.
man.
And I was gonna say, let me ask you this:
crazy.
what feels better, blocking a punt or catching an interception?
Oh,
What's a better feeling in your
that
estimation?
noise when you block the punt.
Boy, you block that punt though, you hear that
different.
crowd go
Yeah,
crazy.
it's good.
That momentum flip
It's
big
a
time.
bigger swing,
Then
I
after
think,
that,
right?
after that,
It's a bigger
you
swing.
know, and then it just feel like everybody like it's just going to World War III because everybody fighting. Everybody trying to go get it.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you get it, normally you ain't got nobody back there.
Right.
Especially
You go.
because you know in the NFL you got to wait for the ball to get kicked.
Before you
But
cross the
in
line.
college they can take off. So you know you get it, you got action. This
going
is
to
you
the
and the
house.
punter,
Yeah.
and you hoping if you don't get it, the punter sitting right there just looking like he ain't got no business. You just go ahead and take off. But that noise, that loud, that noise, I mean, you can hear it. It's like loud as I don't know what. Its thing is just when you go in there, you be like, please get there. I don't want to get there too early. They kick it in my stomach or something. That's the one thing I don't want. Don't kick that ball in my stomach.
That's how you know who's a good enough athlete. I got to worry about getting there early.
Right.
I'm too good.
I'm too good
too
at
early.
timing it.
Sound like a good
And then you
problem
know the
to
whole
have.
thing, like you got to make sure you don't run into nobody. You got to make
Oh, it's a skill, man.
You got to just make
It's a
sure,
skill.
like you got to put like Coach
It's an
King,
art.
like, put your head on. Okay, cool. When you get there, I'm a little too early. Wait, I gotta but no, that was like just situations. Like this was just the different situations that made it more exciting. Cause like that A&M game with what was his name? What was his name after Reggie McNeil? We just talked about Steve McGee.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like Steve McGee, like playing in that game, I thought I knocked him out, and that dude, he was a warrior. I thought I lined him up. That'd have been targeting like
He was a
crazy.
tough
How many games would you have gotten ejected?
That's
out
a
of?
great question. That's a great question.
Coming from
He thinking
place
about
like
it too.
that.
He thinking about it.
I would have been. Yeah, I would have been. It would have been.
You played half a season.
They probably would have had like a suspension or something on one of them. Like I remember, like I broke like teammates. Like I broke Terrell Brown. Terrell probably couldn't stand me. I remember I broke his toe one time. Because he was wrapping up, and I just ran and just tried.
Oh,
to
you was
take
one of them.
And I just can't. He had him still. He had him up still.
I know.
So I just tried to take him out.
UNC
And he
Red
had
was
that-
like that, man.
he
Take
had
out the
that-
whole power.
I had the toe in there, and then the championship game I knocked myself out was I thought I had Dwayne J. I thought I was about to like rupture everything in there. I went in there and I ended up hitting Terrell.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It broke. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
So
that.
I like shattered. That was Terrell was tough. Like Terrell played his senior year with a broke toe playing corner.
And corner?
Yes, he
Bro,
was
I
out
did
there
not know that.
getting
That's crazy.
He had like this they made like a cast to go around his toe, but he like really couldn't really plant.
Yeah.
So he
That
played his
corner?
whole senior year.
That's crazy.
Man,
Whole senior year with a broke toe.
That's wild, man. Did not know that.
No, that was really like this is situationals on like those block punts. It was like that was the thing. Like this situation, like the A&M game, that situation, that might have been like the big and that was at College Station. So that was like pretty dope. Just like at the time, we gotta win the game to keep things going in the right direction. And then that block was even better. It was like Said's supposed to be holding somebody up. I don't even know how he even caught it. I checked. So you know me. I had my own game plan. I went trying to make a play.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out how he caught the ball. Because I never told him what my plan was.
I didn't share that information.
So I got to ask him now this. So how did you know? Because he's supposed to be holding somebody up. And he catches it and like tiptoes into the end zone and does that at the end. So
Man,
I gotta
y'all
ask
boys
him.
did a lot of freestyling back then, man. That's how you know they had a lot of great athletes that
Yeah,
was working
absolutely.
together.
And
the coach-
trust.
And a lot of trust. Great
Yeah.
point. Great point about that.
Man, I got a question. I don't think I've ever asked you this. Why, when you got drafted in the first round, why did they have you at they said cornerback Michael Griffin. Am I right when they said that?
I was that dude, bro.
No, I'm like, bro. I'm like, he's not a cornerback. Why would they say that?
I was that dude, bro.
You weren't, bro.
And returner.
Did you play nickel when you
Bro,
first got
you
to
are
the
not-
league?
I was that dude, bro.
But you was returning.
you
And
mentioned
I
it.
returned kicks too, bro.
Did you play nickel when you first got to the league?
I was nickel, I was corner, I was safety.
I don't think I
And
realized
I was,
you
I was
played
kickoff
corner then.
returner,
How
and I was still,
And
bro.
returner.
We used to play, y'all. You remember? I was still the gunner. I used to have to go to gunner to free safety.
True. I
Then,
remember that.
Then I was on kickoff. I was the guy that used to beeline even on year 10. He know this because I was with him. They told my grip, you go. I said, bro, I'm on year 10. Y'all still want me to run down there full speed and go get the ball?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, I was literally I started on punt return. I started on punt return, started on kickoff return. I started on punt, and I started on kick. I started all special teams, and I was starting at free safety.
Usually first round
In
picks
the
on
league?
Yes.
You always there.
First round draft pick.
Bro, I swear, I was the
They were getting their money worth out of
I
it.
was
They
the
was
gunner.
getting
I was gun, and that was the time. I swear to God, quick story. Rest in peace, Sean Taylor. You know, I thought they were happy to see me too, but they wasn't. But listen, listen. You know, you be like, y'all know this. Y'all been in this situation where right before you get in the league, you know, you watch guys on TV. Like, you know, everybody watch the football game. So we had our first preseason game. We had to play the Washington Commanders now, but it was Redskins at the time. So we had a punt team. Keep in mind, first round, they're like, hey, listen, you did real good in college. You're going to be out there and be the gunner. All right, bet. I'm thinking it's going to be as easy as it was in college. Yeah. I go out there. I see Sean Taylor on the right, Fred Smoot on the left.
Oh, pick your poison.
So I said, I'm going to go for the bigger guy. No. Listen. I came out there and I thought, like, what's up, my boy?
You try to dap him up?
I tried. It worked. He slapped my hand down like this.
Try to butter him up first.
Ball snap. I tried to go at the bigger guy, which was Sean Taylor. He grabbed me. Yeah, you know, he about 6'3", 6'4". Grabbed me. And then, you know, when they put them hands on you, you can't do nothing. So, you know, they put 4 hands on you, it's over with.
It's right. And they ain't calling
Ain't no holding.
Right. They ain't calling
They
nothing.
put 4 hands on me so quick.
Ooh.
And then took me to the sideline and then just like threw me.
Just mangled this.
And I
dude.
went underneath the blink. And I remember Coach Lowry. Get up, you stupid rookie. What do you want me to do? Bro, I kid you not. That was my welcome to the NFL right there. I said, dude, man, I thought y'all was like, you know, after the game here. They said, oh, that's after the game. Y'all be shaking hands. But you a rookie. They don't know you.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't know the people they draft? No, they don't know y'all they draft. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, it got real on my first game.
That's legit. That's great.
But so what happened was, to get to your story, what happened was, at the time, Pac-Man, who was a previous first rounder,
Oh, that's right.
that was the year he got suspended for the whole year.
Gotcha.
So when I got there, when they was going through the draft process, it was like, I guess my numbers tested as like it was a corners. Okay. I had one of the top shuttles and everything else when we tested everything. And it's like, okay, can he play corner or whatever? At the time, you know, the safeties were bigger. Yeah. So that's when they started. That's when like it was me, Brandon Mayweather, LaRon Landry was the freak of nature that came out in that class. But then you had like Eric Weddle, shout out to him. But all of us was like all in the same draft class. So that was when they tried that transition from those big safeties to now they was like, okay, we need these guys to start covering these other type of really athletic tight ends and stuff. Okay. So when I first got there, it was like, let's try you at corner. Because at the time we had another guy, Calvin Lowry, who got drafted the year before, who came out of Penn State. So they had him, and Lamont Thompson was battling it out. And Coach Swartz, who was our DC at the time, was like, listen, I'm telling y'all now, if y'all can't get the job done at safety, we know he can go back and play safety, but we're going to try him at corner. Because at the time, Cortland Finnegan was his second year, and he was a 7th round draft pick. So they had me and him going at corner, and they had Calvin Lowry and Lamont Thompson battling out for the free safety position. And then by game 7, they were like, because we used to have a package, it was like 3 corners where I go in, and it's like, I'm just, instead of going all nickel, I'll just be the extra cover safety that will cover the slot or whatever.
Big nickel.
And then from that standpoint, that's when it ended up being like, you know what, you just go to free safety. And that's when Cortland started, and then we had Vincent Fuller, who went to Virginia Tech. He was our nickel. So that's how our secondary ended up evolving. And then later on that season, Chris Hope got hurt, and then Calvin Lowry came in strong. And then the following year, Calvin Lowry got traded to another team. So that's how that ended up happening.
Gotcha.
But I was that dude, though.
You was that dude, though. You can't play all the positions in the NFL. That's tough to do, though.
No question.
That's
Kickoff
wild.
returner. punt return.
Right.
Did it all, baby.
Speaking of your athleticism, right, and genetically, the things that you've been able to do, you've always been gifted. You got some youngsters that's gifted as well. Your son, I just saw him a couple of weeks ago in San Antonio. Your older daughter, I've been following along
Who's a
with
beast.
her.
Uh-oh.
Beast mode. Young Toot, I know she coming along as well.
Too lazy. Too don't want to know.
Coaching them up all
She young. She young right now. She young. She's
She's
having
still
fun.
7. She's still 7.
Too lazy.
She's 7.
Right. Fozzy had to throw some context out there for me.
You're not seeing it yet. I know.
Teenager or something. No, she's 7.
So lazy.
Mackenzie lazy. I give you one thing though. Mackenzie gonna take care of you though. She gonna make sure what you need with her. She gonna get you what you need. But you tell her to go outside, it's too hot, too cold. You tell her to go, it's too much running. She lazy. She won't do nothing.
All right, we'll talk about the other two then.
So Braylon, you know, he quiet. You know that. He sit there and he just don't say nothing. He just we call him a little crash out on a little 7-on-7 team because you don't know he had a heck of a tackle in 7-on-7. He ain't supposed to tackle.
So I was like, wait.
I'm waiting for it.
I guess he was mad though, but it was they were
I was going to say he quiet, but he
had-
actions is
he
not
had-
quiet. Yeah.
He had a heck of a tackle. I'm talking about on the goal line. I'm talking about goal line stand. You talking about that play that Texas needed when they played World Cup? Exactly what they needed.
Goal line stand.
It had him on the one.
Against Lindell White.
Yeah, that play. Yeah, he had a heck of a. I said, what? They said you like a proud dad, but mad at the same. I don't know what to say. But he's a junior right now at Lake Travis. He's doing really well. You know, this whole recruiting process is so different now, and so.
He's a cornerback.
He's a cornerback.
Oh,
so,
nice.
So he tried to play running back. I'm like, bro, you gonna get your. The Ty did play running back freshman year. We ain't finished the season, baby. First game we was at ER, baby, with a broke collarbone, baby. Yeah, get from back there. Get from back there. Now shoulders ain't built the same. Then you got Maya. She's playing basketball. She played basketball like football. Yeah.
Used to play football in junior high.
Soccer?
Yeah, she did play football.
No more soccer?
No, she played soccer,
Okay.
but she did play. She was second. She was starting middle linebacker.
With a
Seventh grade.
cast?
Yeah, out there with Cass. I don't know what she had.
Yeah.
What?
With a cast.
With a cast on?
Yeah,
And got some highlights. Hey, we ain't talking about no just out there.
she got ran over one time. That was awesome. Awesome.
Why was it awesome?
Bruh. And I told her same leg, same shoulder. She went there with the opposite shoulder with the opposite leg.
Quick learning moment.
What happened?
That's right.
Hey,
Oh,
listen.
You gonna learn the hard way?
Sat down.
Yeah.
She come to the sideline. She look at me. I know. Hey, she got him back.
She already
Wait,
knew.
it's cool. But then she plays soccer. She plays. So she's freshman. She made varsity. That was good. They played their first district game last week. They won. I think they're ranked 2 in the Austin area. I think it's Round Rockers 1. But they got the same record. But scored the first goal first district game.
Nice.
She's in the ninth.
Against
As
my
a freshman. Perspective.
it was against my old high school though. That's what it was.
That's why I ain't say sentimental, huh?
Got the Bulldogs.
I'm like, hey, relax, man. Come on, man. Relax. Just doing a little too much out there. But yeah, she's doing really well. So I mean, they both doing well. Proud of them. They just make us. I'm an Uber driver. I'm a Lifetime. My new career is Uber. Uber Lyft.
You went from catching picks in the national championship.
Now I'm catching
game.
kids and taking them
Driving
from
the
point A to
kids,
point B, man. Listen, I leave here, I got to take one to cheer practice. The other one got a basketball game. Tomorrow, somebody got something.
Somebody got something.
This weekend, this weekend. I just came back from Dallas. Like, my weekend was like, listen, Friday, my daughter had 2 games. She had a basketball game at 5:15, had to rush over to Burger to play in a soccer game. Got up at 3 o'clock, drove to Dallas. My son had his 7-on-7 in Dallas. Came back. Yeah, it's like, dude, these kids just straight up.
Did you do that kind of stuff when you was?
No, they ain't had this stuff when we were kids.
Just play whatever was closest. Like
Honestly, I'm mad at these organizations. They know what they're doing. They capitalizing on these parents, man.
Absolutely.
They know every parent want their kid to be a superstar. So listen, go ahead and pay this $3,500. Hey, we got 10 of y'all, so that's $35K in my pocket.
Ooh,
We gonna use
Easy math.
we gonna use the man. I bet it just add the zero. What you mean easy math?
I'm saying that's a
Good money though.
Good
Easy
Return on investment.
I ain't saying you smart.
Man.
Just add a
One too
zero.
many fullback hits.
Tom,
Hey, he had to put it like that.
you went
No, hey,
to
listen.
Waco. Stop.
I know.
You went to Waco.
I know.
Stop.
Waco.
You went to Waco. Stop.
Waco?
Yeah, nothing. Only thing y'all was learning how to
Stop.
move the cows
Stop
from point
it.
A to
Stop
point
it.
B.
Stop
Ride a horse at the rodeo. Yeah,
man.
stop it. Leave me alone. All y'all got is a Dairy Queen out there. Leave me alone. Y'all done upgraded since y'all.
Yeah, we have.
Y'all
We
upgraded.
You right.
I went to Bowie, so anything we got the smarts coming out of my school. I just have to help everybody. You know? Right? Hey, man.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Let me ask you this, like, transitioning real quick. One thing I've always respected about you is how you handle your money. Like, I feel like anytime I was going home shopping, me and my wife, you always had an empty lot in that development. Like, you got so many empty lots in real estate investments.
Put you out there.
Not trying to put your business out there, but you had an extensive real estate portfolio.
Okay.
So,
That's
There you go.
so let me ask you this: for people in the NFL, what's your best?
I'm broke. Go ahead.
Don't answer.
What's your best financial advice for somebody in the league?
The biggest thing is there's a difference between I want and I need.
Okay.
Because you want a lot of things. I mean, that's just life. You know, you open your phone up, you look on TV. There's things you want all day. Me and him play golf all the time. We think every driver the best driver and can't even hit it. We all play golf. I mean, you can't. It just you want all the stuff, but in the difference with what you need, you know. And the biggest thing I did was, for me, I remember, like, I was fortunate. I got drafted when the market was down, so you know everybody was buying jewelry and everything else and all that. Man, I'm Cubis Coney all day, baby. I keep Claire's in business. But I keep Claire's in business. Y'all remember them kiosks in the middle of the mall? Yeah, they do a good job. But because everybody gonna think it's real anyway. So, but the biggest thing is the difference when I want and I need, and that was one thing. Is like I literally was, when I got drafted, instead of buying all, like, hey, listen to me. Market was down, and Bowie was a really good school. And you look at the education, everything else, and the middle school, which was Bailey, and then they got Grisky down the street now. The elementary schools and stuff. It was like, okay, this is gonna be an affluent neighborhood and things, and it's always gonna prosper and be good. So it was like, at the time the market was down, so I bought a couple of houses in that area, and then we're talking about, you know, what place you looking. I bought a lot over there just to say, you know, I ain't gonna move there right now, but and then I bought another house, and it was just, at the time, like, you buy, like, they give you so much money, but the one thing you know is never gonna make more land. So it was like homes and stuff. So that was the biggest thing I did, was instead of buying the cars and stuff, and then I got to the league, it was like, you know, people like they do right now at Texas, like, they pay you to drive their cars. Like, as long as that thing start up, or if it just get in and hit the gas, you know, some of these electric cars and stuff, you just, why you buying a car? I bought a car my rookie year and then bought another car after I drafted. After I retired. Wow. You know that. The car I bought, I still got today.
Right.
It's my son's car.
Yeah.
But that's just like, it was just the fact of, like, it just never, it was just different to say, like, you know, you can have all the jewelry and stuff. You just can't keep up with it. You know what I mean? And if you try to keep up with it, it's just impossible. So my thing was like, hey, you got this, you got that. It was like, hey, I own this, I own that, whatever. So if anything ever went bad, I know I got something sitting there I can always, you know, get off my hands if I need to. So cars and stuff, they depreciate and things of that nature. Things that depreciate, you know, you buy the jewelry, you know how it is. You go back and try to sell it back to the jeweler you bought it from. He trying to give you half off and tell you to buy another one. So that's just, y'all, am I lying?
No, you're not.
No,
You're not.
You're right.
So that was just one of the biggest things for me, was just a difference between I want and what I need. So I give a lot of credit to my mom and stuff, teaching me those things, my dad. And that was just one of the biggest things, was just, and again, my life was a little, you know, it's funny. I told my mom and dad, I was like, I always thought we was like rich, but we really wasn't. But it was like, since I was 10 years old, I always had a job. So I used to referee soccer games when I was 10.
I did the same thing.
So
Wow.
I used to referee soccer games. I was 10 years old refereeing soccer games, over off Slaughter, Circle C. I used to referee soccer games. I played soccer, ref games, and then that lunch money, that money I made from that was my lunch money throughout the week. And then, so that was my way of earning lunch money was that. And then my mom got me my first bank account, whatever, to start saving money. And then by the time I turned 15, I started working at Target right down the street. Right there, Target, right there, Mopac. Yeah, started working at that Target. There's some people still there that was there when I was there.
That's wow. That's crazy.
But I used to work there, wore the red shirt with the khaki.
Yeah.
Look good. Yeah, when y'all want to know how much something costs. If you had any more in the back, baby, that was me. There it is. It says right here, but I can order you one. That was me, baby. And then you know how they said make the store look like it's full. You go in there and they make it like, oh man, they got a whole bunch of them. No, they don't. You just pull one in the front, pull it forward.
And the bag ain't nothing in the
back.
bag.
In the back. But make the whole file look. Yeah, that was me. That was me at 15, 16. That's why y'all was going to little house parties and stuff. I had to go to work.
But what you learned was the value of $1.
It was.
You learned the value of $1 like $10, dog.
Then the crazy part was, then when I went to Texas, it was crazy. So I used to work at Finish Line in the mall. And you know, y'all all want the shoes.
Oh, for sure.
So I used to get the discount, but I used to charge y'all regular price.
So you tipping yourself.
Come on now, man.
I was a number one seller every
Talk
month.
about margins.
Right.
And I made sure y'all got socks too, because you know they always want
You gotta get the socks with it.
because it looked good on your sheet, like you could sell socks. Little Finish
Oh,
Line
I mean,
socks.
you know, you're a salesman.
Yeah.
You're a real
No,
salesman.
you gonna have to buy them if you want me to go get them. You gonna have to buy them.
It was a bundle.
So yeah, that was
Package deal, bro.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Like when I got drafted, you know, back then, no NIL deals stuff, but like literally working and stuff. I remember like getting drafted, and I looked at my bank account. I'm like, ooh, a couple thousand. I was like, and I remember getting to the league, and they tried to make me like take them out to dinner or whatever, and they was like, better call your agent. I called my agent before I got my own money. Like, where you get money from? I've been working since I was 10. So, and like again, you talk about the valuable lesson of being how to like to be smart with your money and stuff. I remember you making $30 a weekend, being out there in the hot sun, or whether it was cold outside them soccer games. You think twice about whether or not you want to say, do I want the school lunch that's $1 or 85 cents, or do I want that piece of pizza that's $2.50? Come on now. And you remember them piece of pizzas back in the day when they doing that on that Friday?
Everything.
Yeah, you used to get mad at it, get a little small piece for $2.50. Yeah, so that was the thing. Like, do you want to drink the water out the water fountain, or do you want to buy that little Powerade or something that was like? So you just started realizing like, do I want it, but do I really need it? And those was like little things like growing up that you start realizing like, I don't need all. I don't need this. I mean, I don't need this. I want it, but I don't need. And that's just how I started operating.
Cause you spending your own money. That's what the difference spending mama and daddy money and spending your own money. You spending your own money. It's like, nah, I ain't spending my own money.
Tell your kids, they look at you like, oh, you want me to spend mine? So that was the way that really I think helped me out. Like valuable lessons. Like my mom, I remember she said, "You play so." I remember I failed. Hey, mom, I'm gonna tell a story. Listen, I failed the test to be a referee, and my mom said, "How you gonna fail the test and you play the dang sport? You don't know the rules." But yeah, it was a little bit worse than that.
Yeah, PG-13.
That was Disney the way I told it. It was a little bit kind of like on Coach Keena level. You know?
I already know the deal.
There we go.
You know it.
That's awesome. Well, do you guys have any other questions? I mean, we could go on for a while, man. We appreciate you coming here, and yeah, we'll definitely have you back for a part 2 if you want to. So.
Oh yeah, man. I'm all listen. I ain't got no job.
Because you worked since you were 10. You decided to retire early,
exactly.
man. You good.
I ain't got no job.
That was probably the funniest episode that we didn't
Oh my
have.
God.
This is up there as one of the funniest ones.
Y'all lucky I'm dry, baby. Y'all lucky dry.
Man, you might be funny and dry. I don't know.
Catch me at the game.
Well, thank you so much, man.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you. Hook 'em.